Movies, TV, streaming, there's so much coming out this week, and I've got a rundown of all of it right now. This episode's brought to you by First Leaf. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/Murrell to sign up, and stay tuned after the show for more info. Hello everybody, I'm Dan Murrell here with a look at the week ahead when you look at entertainment in general. This is a version of something I've been doing on my different chart shows. I do a chart show every week for box office. I do one for streaming very often. And I thought, well, maybe people would like a deeper dive into what their options are in the week ahead. And if you like this, then perhaps this could become a weekly segment on this channel. So let's look at what's coming out this week, not just in theaters, but also on various streaming platforms and a few television shows as well on traditional TV. Yeah, believe it or not, they still put those out. And let's start with Tuesday. This Tuesday, August the 29th, there's a movie hitting digital VOD called Deltopia, which is based on the real Santa Barbara college street party, sex, drugs, partying, etc. It's available for digital rental and purchase. This one's being released through Lionsgate. Also, two titles from the summer box office that will be available for purchase and rental on demand this Tuesday. The first is The Boogeyman, which is a Fox horror film about a young girl who is menaced by a horrible entity. There was the thought that this might be a bit of a breakout box office hit. It wasn't quite that, but if you missed it in theaters, you can get it on digital VOD this week. And then Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I don't really need to tell you what this movie is. A disappointing box office run, but there are so many revenue streams. It gets to try its hand as a digital rental and purchase before it inevitably hits Disney Plus in the near future. So if you missed Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny and you want to see it this week, you can see it starting on Tuesday through whichever platform you like to buy or rent your films. There's a very interesting film that's having a limited theatrical engagement this Wednesday, August 30th. It's a movie called Slotherhouse about a sorority girl who adopts a pet sloth, which turns out to be a murderous killer. This is one of those one night only type things, or maybe a few nights, that we saw with movies like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey earlier this year. And when I first saw the title of this film, I thought that this could be a Winnie the Pooh type deal where it's all novelty, but looking at the trailer and even looking at some of the initial reactions, it looks like Slotherhouse may actually be the kind of self-aware, fun, quasi-horror type film that you would expect from something like this. So I'm actually going to give Slotherhouse a shot this Wednesday, and if you want to do the same, it's not in wide theatrical release as in every theater chain, but there are many theater chains that are carrying this limited engagement, and you can get tickets for that right now. Also beginning its season on Wednesday night is the final season of Archer, which will be airing on cable on FXX and also streaming on Hulu. The first two episodes of this 14th and final season of Archer air on Wednesday night. The show began airing in September of 2009, and it is just now wrapping up its run. That's the advantage of having an animated show like this. You have that longevity. Archer is one of Mara's favorite shows. I've seen a little bit of it, and once this final season airs, I could actually sit down and watch the entire series if I want. Streaming on Netflix on Wednesday is a docuseries called Live to 100: Secrets of the Blue Zones, following author Dan Buettner as he visits places where the residents are living for close to 100 years in order to find out how and why they're living so long. Also debuting Wednesday on Disney Plus is the docuseries NCT 127: The Lost Boys, which follows the Korean boy band NCT 127. I honestly don't know anything about K-pop. I certainly don't begrudge K-pop fans. It's just not a particular area of interest. However, it seems like this is a popular band, so I thought it might be worth mentioning. One of the most anticipated projects of the year debuts on Thursday, August the 31st on Netflix. It is their live-action adaptation of the manga/anime series One Piece. A live-action anime adaptation? What could possibly go wrong? I'm early in my anime journey, so I don't really know much about One Piece. I can't tell you how these trailers look compared to either the manga or the animated series, but these things, quite frankly, rarely succeed. Maybe this time will be different. Season 1 of One Piece is 8 episodes long, and we will see this week how it stacks up compared to the original. Streaming on Max this Thursday, August 31st, is the animated series Adventure Time: Fiona and Cake. It is a spin-off series of Adventure Time. I've heard a lot of great stuff about that series. I've never actually sat down to watch it, but I've always thought that the animation looks cool. It seems like a lot of fans are happy to see it back in this spin-off form, so if you're an Adventure Time fan, there's more adventures coming to Max this week. And also on Thursday is the Netflix movie Choose Love. It's a rom-com with a twist. in that it's a choose-your-own-adventure type rom-com. So it's about a woman named Cammie who's trying to find the perfect man for her, and throughout the movie, you get to decide what she does, make her choices for her. Netflix has done a few different experiments with interactive programming before. Black Mirror had a Bandersnatch episode that was all sort of a choose-your-own-adventure thing. So this is kind of branching it off into a new genre. The movie is from the writer of the Disney Descendants films and also Runaway Bride. So certainly a writer that has had great success in the past. And again, even if rom-coms aren't your thing, this sort of choose-your-own-path might be worth a look if you're just into the novelty of it all. This Friday, September the 1st, it's the last weekend at the summer box office, and the major theatrical release that we're seeing is The Equalizer 3. Antoine Fuqua and Denzel Washington team up once again for the third Equalizer movie. This series started back in 2014. In The Equalizer 3, Robert McCall is looking to enjoy a peaceful life in Italy, but is pulled back into a world of violence when the mafia infiltrates his town. Dakota Fanning co-stars. This is a reunion of the Man on Fire duo. I liked the first two Equalizer films. I'm surprised we're getting a trilogy, but here we are. If you're looking for one last action movie to round out the summer as we head into Labor Day weekend, it's going to be The Equalizer 3. There's really no other new option for you. Streaming on Amazon Prime Video this Friday is The Wheel of Time Season 2, the second season of Amazon's adaptation of the popular book series after a nearly 2-year gap since the last season. I have a lot of friends who are into The Wheel of Time. I'm not very well versed in it, but it does look very fantasy-like, so if you're into that, then I'm sure this is very exciting. Also streaming on Netflix this Friday, another fantasy series, Disenchantment. The final 10 episodes of Matt Groening's series debut on Netflix on Friday, and it's airing at the same time as the revival of another Matt Groening created series, which is Futurama on Hulu. That's been running for a few weeks now. Also on Netflix streaming this Friday is Love is Blind After the Altar Season 4, which is the spinoff to the dating series following couples after their time on Love is Blind. I watched a couple of episodes, I think, of the first season of Love is Blind, and I knew that people watched it, but I did not know we were so deep into these spin-off series. 4 episodes into the spin-offs. People love these reality shows on Netflix, so it's yet another option for you if the fantasy stuff and the action isn't quite your speed. Streaming on Starz this Friday is another spinoff to a streaming series I'm not very familiar with, Power Book 4 Force Season 2, which is the second season of the third spinoff of the 2014 series Power. I've honestly never seen or really heard of these shows, but they seem very popular, and that's the reality of the entertainment landscape that we live in right now. You can have multiple shows and multiple seasons for franchises you've never seen or even heard of, and yet there are dedicated fan bases for these franchises. Streaming on Shudder this Friday is a movie called Perpetrator. It's a high school horror film from writer-director Jennifer Reeder, starring Kaya McKernan and co-starring Alicia Silverstone. Critical reaction seems strong to the film so far, and really the movie looks pretty trippy. It looks like if you're looking for an out-of-the-box, unconventional type of horror film, then Perpetrator might be up your alley. That'll be on Shudder this Friday. And then a few films that are in limited theatrical release around the country. So these aren't going to be in every market or in every theater, but they may be playing in a theater near you, particularly if you live in a large metropolitan area. One of them is The Good Mother, starring Hilary Swank as a mother trying to find her son's murderer. She co-stars with Olivia Cooke and Jack Rayner. Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose, one of the most interesting titles of the year, hitting limited release this weekend. Simon Pegg plays the titular character, a parapsychologist investigating reports of a talking mongoose living on a farm on the Isle of Man. Minnie Driver and Christopher Lloyd co-star, and Neil Gaiman lends his voice to something, perhaps the talking mongoose. I'm a big Simon Pegg fan. Unfortunately, this movie is not playing in my local market, but if you like Pegg, if you like this sort of comedy, then this could be the movie for you. Ernest and Celestine, A Trip to Gibberishia, is playing in limited release. The first Ernest and Celestine movie was nominated for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars 10 years ago. This is a film based on a series of children's books featuring a bear named Ernest and a mouse named Celestine. The movie was released in France last year and now hits limited release here in the States. Also in limited release is a movie called All Fun and Games. Asa Butterfield and Natalia Dyer star as teens in Salem, Massachusetts, who play a series of deadly games thanks to a possessed knife. This seems to fit squarely in the possession/creepy kids subgenre. One of the writer-directors on this film is Ari Costa, who was a longtime assistant to the Russo brothers, transitioned then to becoming an associate producer on the Avengers films and their Marvel projects, and is now co-directing and writing this film under the Agbo label, which is the the Russo brothers production company. Finally, in limited release this weekend is a movie that I think is probably not very good, but I just had to share this with you so that you also know it exists. It's called Don't Look Away. I thought this was another gag horror movie, but the trailer looks like it is played absolutely straight. Don't Look Away is about a killer mannequin that stalks its victims and murder follows wherever it appears. There is a near 0% chance that this is a good movie. However, just the look of it, the fact that it looks to be so deadly serious about such a ridiculous concept, I honestly think you'd have an easier job making Slaughterhouse a serious movie than you would this film. But if you see it playing in your market, or more likely if you see it on streaming near you in the near future, and you're looking for what seems to be a bit of a laugh, then make sure to check out Don't Look Away, the movie, again, about the killing stalker mannequin. And that's my rundown for the week ahead. What do you think? Do any of these projects pique your interest? Let me know down in the comments below, and stay tuned right here on the channel. I'll be back soon with my breakdown of the weekend box office on Charts with Dan, and I'll likely have reviews for one or two of the very movies and shows that we talked about right here on this episode. Before we go, I want to thank the sponsor for this video, First Leaf. It is time to enjoy those last precious days of summer, and isn't it just the best? I know I love to take advantage of these last few weekends, have some friends over, cook on the grill, or just sit outside and enjoy the night air. And for all of these occasions, I want to make sure that I've got some great wine at the ready. That's why summer is still a great time to join the First Leaf Wine Club. To get started with First Leaf, all you have to do is answer some questions about your likes and dislikes on their website, and their expert team will select a customized assortment of great wines based on your preferences. We tend to enjoy some sweet wines to chill, maybe drink on a hot summer night, but it's also great to be able to select some great reds to have with a nice meal. Your personalized wine shipments are delivered right to your door, so you can sit back and enjoy bottles that you'll love for the rest of the summer, all priced lower than what you'd pay at a wine store. Plus, every selection is backed by First Leaf's 100% satisfaction guarantee. To make sure you've got great wine when you want it this summer, you gotta try First Leaf. Just head over to tryfirstleaf.com/Murrell to sign up, and you'll get your first 6 hand-curated bottles for just $44.95. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/Murrell. That's tryfirstleaf.com/Murrell to get your first 6 bottles for under $8 a bottle. Tryfirstleaf.com/Murrell. Thanks to First Leaf for sponsoring this video, and thank you for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for more movie news, reviews, box office, and more. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Bye.